Self-care is just an excuse for procrastination. I want you to notice when I say that, what comes up for you inside. I stole that line from someone I saw use it in a video much like this just the other day on social media. Self-care is just an excuse for procrastination. Now, the person that I was watching talk about this, he was very much in that macho masculine energy, giving a lot of motivation and really trying to get people moving, get people doing stuff. And I actually don't have a problem with that kind of energy. It can be really, really useful at times. But I guess I wanted to give my own perspective on what this statement can mean. There is a challenge for a lot of people in procrastinating. I actually was speaking with one of our clients last week, one of our long-term clients, and she was sharing that she was in a place of procrastination. And I gave her a little tip around how to get out of that and how to get moving through that I'm going to share with you guys in a minute. But I wanted, before I get to that, to actually just talk a little bit about this idea of procrastination, of self-care, and what the balance and the difference between these things is. And I want to share with you that to be able to achieve our goals, to be able to live a fulfilling life according to what it is that we want, we do actually need to take action. We need to move. And so when we find ourselves procrastinating, it's usually what causes procrastination is our mind, our subconscious mind, trying to keep us safe. It's saying, hang on, you're doing stuff, you're getting into places that you haven't been before, you're doing new things. Hold on, this is stuff we're not used to. I'm feeling a bit uncomfortable here. And so especially it happens when we do things like look at a long list of to-dos and our brain just goes, you know what, I'm going into low power mode, low energy mode. That looks like way too much to do. Let's just tone down here, stay safe, stay low energy, and let's just ignore all that. And that's kind of what procrastination is at one level or another, for a lot of people anyway. And to be able to get through that, there's really two things that we need to be able to focus on, because we do need to take action and we need to calm down our mind. We need to be in a place where we are feeling and flowing well with our energy, as well as taking the action that's going to get us to our goals. And both of those things together, both of those energies actually help us to achieve more and feel great doing it, to feel fulfilled and have a deeply rewarding experience of the action that we're taking. And that's ultimately what we want, not just the goals, but to be rewarded internally as we go along the way as well. So let me tell you what these two things are. The first one is motivation. Now, this is what those sort of macho speakers who yell and use a lot of vibrant energy, that's kind of motivation. What I see as motivation is really based on the root word. Motivation means motive. Like, what's the motive of what I'm doing here? So to be able to be motivated, we need to look at what's the motive that I've got right now to do this thing. Why do I want to do this? And asking questions about why can help raise motivation. So you can say literally like, why am I doing this thing right now? Why am I don't know, having to do my taxes, all the boring stuff that we might procrastinate around. Why am I having to do laundry again? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing that? And sometimes the ideas don't seem that good. So if we want to raise motivation, we need to raise the level of why around those boring procrastinative tasks. And often we do this by looking at our values. Why do I want to do this thing? Well, it's because I want my business to be successful. I want to make enough money to support my family. I want to be able to pay my rent. I want to do this. I want to do that. And those deeper values that we have, if we can hone in on those values and really express them to ourselves clearly, then motivation goes straight up, right? Our motivation goes through the roof when it's like, I'm doing the laundry now because I want to feed my kids. I'm doing the laundry now because I want to leave a legacy in this community that impacts hundreds of people every month, every year. Those kind of motivators can help rise up our energy and actually give us motive to do those tasks. So that's number one, motivation, motive. Why am I doing this? And go deep. Don't be afraid to go deep as you might want to go. But the other side of it, we've got motivation. The other side that I see to this is inspiration. And motivation and inspiration are a bit different, especially in the way that I might use these words. Inspiration comes from the word inspire, which literally the root word means to inspirit, to put spirit into something. To inspire is to add spirit. And when I think of spirit, I think of that internal stuff. We need spirit, we need space in our mind, and we need flow, and we need a greater connection to the things around us to be able to know why we do things, right? It's like inspiration actually leads to motivation. If we don't have that calm inner contemplative space in our lives, at least sometimes, then we can't necessarily move forward in a way that we know is going to be deeply rewarding to us. Action is great. Action gets results. But what if we get the results and we're not in a place we want it to be? They're not making us happy. That's where we need inspiration to match. And if you think about it, inspiration by itself is still kind of useless. It's no good sitting around contemplating, knowing what it is that will make you happy, but then never taking action to get to it. That's procrastination as well, right? To just be inspired. If you take that initial statement, self-care is just an excuse to procrastinate, and we think about just inspiration, maybe that's where that sentence is heading. You know, if we've just got inspiration, we don't have anything. But likewise, motivation by itself is actually meaningless. We can take all the action in the world that we like and, you know, make lots of money or do meet lots of people, whatever it is. But if it's not aligned to our deeper values and not bringing us harmony and joy, then it's kind of pointless anyway, right? So I want you to think about that. We need inspiration and motivation to be able to reach our goals. Now, one of the things that can happen too is that people kind of get to a level where it's like, I'm doing enough of what I do and I feel like I've reached the goals that I had when I was younger, or I'm 3/4 the way to reaching them and I just can't figure out how to. And that can be another one of those feelings that's like, bah, well, how do I move from here? And in that case, some people just get confused about what procrastination actually is. Procrastination is not the same as confusion. Not knowing the future, not knowing what you want, that kind of fogginess is not necessarily procrastination. And I'm actually running a webinar this week on Tuesday evening that's going to give people some help to look ahead at the career path of massage and say, you know, where am I at the moment? I might be right at the start. I might be a few years in. Maybe I've been doing this for decades. But wherever it is, we can start to identify what is the main aspect of where you are right now. What should you be focusing on to move to the next step? And then actually see a little bit ahead. What do I need to put in place right now? What can I choose to put in place right now to make sure that I've got a deeply rewarding experience of business long term? So this can be something that I stick with for forever if I want to, for as long as I might want to. And at the same time, make the money and have the joy and impact the community and do all the things that I might want to do around that. Have time freedom as much as anything else. So if you can, join me on the webinar Tuesday night this week. I will drop a link in the messages, in the comments here, so you can jump in and have a look at those. Definitely sign up. We're running one session for Australian time, one for US time. So wherever you're based, it'll be Tuesday evening in Australia or US. There's separate sessions for that. Or if you're in another time zone as well, just choose one that's going to work for you. I would love to see you there so we can have a bit more of a look at how to grow your business, where you are right now, whether you want to just solidify that, get more consistency, or whether you're ready to look at what are the next steps as you go. It'll be a super valuable webinar either way. So please join me. I'll drop the link in and we'll see you there soon. Thanks, guys.